All right, welcome to another UnPack Pittsburgh podcast. This is very interesting. So we are on location at COhatch, which just recently opened in Shadyside. I'm not sure if you can see in the windows. It's absolutely pouring, so you might hear some thunder and lightning, so that'll be fun. But we have a very special guest today, Michele actually the owner of Beauty Boost Pittsburgh. Why don't you go introduce yourself?
Thanks, Bryan. Thanks, Alaina. I'm Michele Colella. I own the Beauty Boost Pittsburgh, and who we are is we are a pop-up event company, but really just so much more than that. We want to bring women together, give them a place to connect, form new friendships, and have fun over things like feeling healthy and empowered and beautiful.
I mean, you can't get better than that, honestly. So why? Like, what got you personally into this? I've got to meet you. In fact, we hosted 2 of your events at Stonewater Salon Spa, which were both ultra successful in my opinion. Got to know a lot of local business owners and local people who were just looking to escape. So that was fantastic. Like, what made you, Michele, get into the Beauty Boost?
Sure. So if you're familiar with kind of those times in your life when you're going through big changes, so it happens if you're moving in a new city, if you are interest changing, all of your friends are moving, getting married, lives change, interest change, all of those things. I was in one of those phases. I had just finished up fitness competitions, and I was like, okay, I'm retired, and I kind of felt lost. Like, I needed a new hobby. I needed some way to fill my time other than 3 hours a day in the gym. So I was looking for new women to connect with over similar interests. I kind of wanted to start a business, but I didn't know what. So I found the Beauty Boost on Facebook, of all places. That'll probably tell you how old I am. And I went to an event by myself because none of my friends wanted to go. And I just went to like a quick fitness class over in Sewickley. We went to coffee afterwards. And I ended up talking to these women for like hours in that coffee shop. And we were talking about like goals and passions and hobbies. And I felt like this is where I need to be, like meeting people, having good conversations, and just really connecting with other women.
That's really cool. And the whole story was amazing. But the one thing that definitely stood out to me is you could have just not went. Your friends didn't go, but you went by yourself, and that totally, not to sound cheesy, but kind of changed your life a little bit by taking that step and going, and then connecting with some people, and now running this organization. So before we jumped on, I asked you, do you consider the Beauty Boost a networking events company? Like, how would you describe to someone who's out there saying, what is the Beauty Boost?
Yeah, I think that's hard. I think networking is probably like a little too formal for us, but it's definitely a place where we want local women to come and feel like they can meet women with similar interests and like do fun things with them and try new things. So we kind of cover, I feel like, mental health, physical health, spiritual health throughout all of our events. So women that want to like grow in any of those areas, or just want to hang out with women that have similar interest in any of those areas.
Well, I would love to hear what goes on at some of these events, if you have some examples.
Yeah, so I'll start with how we collaborated with Stonewater. So one of our types of events is kind of like focused on beauty and self-care and all of those things. So we had events with Stonewater where women could come in, try little mini facials, dry hairstyling to kind of try something new, mini massages, snacks from local businesses, Reiki, shopping, all of those things. But I usually tell people we have a few different event types. One of them is like a weekend retreat where you're going away for the weekend. You have no worries. You don't have to think about anything. Right? We have a chef. I was the chef once. Fun fact. I can actually cook. So we have that type of event. And then we have some day retreats that are like mini versions of that, where you still get to be like outdoors doing fun things, but in like a half a day, a little more manageable. We have some fitness events that either are yoga or all different types of fitness, so boot camps and boxing and bar and Pilates and bouncing and like all the fitness. And then we also do things that are like beauty focused, more empowerment, like workshops, like things that we've done with COhatch have been more workshop based, where we're talking about like goals and growth and entrepreneurship. And then we do have some events that are just kind of like really focused on all the local businesses that we partner with. And we have a ton of businesses pop up with us, and women come to shop and meet new businesses.
That sounds super, super fun. I love how like diverse it is when you could try so many different things. So it seems like you work with a lot of businesses. Do you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, so that's a big part of like what we do is we bring local businesses together, lots of small businesses, a lot of women-owned businesses to pop up with us. So it helps give our members and our event attendees exposure to businesses they might not know about, or exposure to businesses like things they've wanted to try but have been maybe scared to try. So I don't know, some people are scared of massages and they've never had a massage before. As somebody who's obsessed with massages my whole life.
If you haven't had a
too.
massage, please come to Stonewater Salon.
Stonewater has the best.
Yes.
Yeah, but some people, this is really like intimidating for them. So they can come to an event and try out a chair massage and see, okay, this is how it feels to try this out. And then they're like, okay, this isn't scary anymore. I want a home massage. So we partner with businesses that kind of span a bunch of different industries, obviously fitness, wellness, health, different coaches. So like your life coaches, your business coaches, your health coaches, beauty, retail, artists, makers, boutiques. Like I'm wearing Lane 51, a local boutique. I don't have time to shop, so I just shop at events.
That's really
Perfect.
cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, there is a full-blown storm happening behind us, so I hope we don't lose power. So
I'm sure they have a generator.
Yeah, you're right. So for people out there who might be interested in coming to an event, what is the traditional process of getting tickets or being members, or how does that all work out?
Yeah, that part's really easy. So we have a website and we put our events on Eventbrite, and we have Instagram and Facebook. So anybody can find us, out there, online, anywhere. You can come to any event. You can just grab an individual ticket, show up anytime, or if there's somebody that really wants to know or wants to be involved consistently, we do a couple of events per month. So if you get a membership, it just saves you a lot of money. So we have that optional membership if you want to come all the time, and if you're like, I only want to do workshops, you can just pop in here and there when you want.
Have you, this is kind of, I probably know the answer, but through this process, have you met some just absolutely amazing people? I, in San Diego, when I was more in the business world, I would be doing networking events because I was trying to grow my sphere of influence in the San Diego market. And you would just talk to some people, not all people, but some people were just like, wow, this person's awesome.
Yeah.
So I assume that this would probably have been a great way for you to meet, which was originally your goal.
Yeah.
To meet great people.
Every freaking day. It's the best part of what I do. I meet so many incredible people, whether it's business owners or people that come to events or people that own venues. Everybody has a really cool story, and I always ask them about it because that's just who I am. And I have met the most amazing people and made incredible connections, but it's not limited to just me. The attendees that come to events, they meet each other, they become friends, they find businesses that they're now loyal, obsessed clients of. And then the businesses that we partner with, they're in a bunch of different industries. So sometimes they don't meet these people at other places where they're popping up, or in, if they have a retail store. So they're meeting these people from all different industries and forming connections, and then their own collaborations, which is wild. I love it. And then I'm like, great, I get to come to your event.
What does a typical day in your life look like, since you're planning events, you're building a community?
Juggling chainsaws.
Well, I have a full-time job. So I work a very corporate job. I went to grad school at Pitt, and I've been at my job for 13 plus years now. So typically from Tuesday through Friday, I work a 10-hour day at that job. And then with the Beauty Boost, I fill in. So I do calls at nights. I have my Mondays off, like today. So I do calls, I do venue visits, and I just this is going to sound so boring, but I time block everything, and I have times where I answer emails, answer Instagram.
I had to implement that 2 years ago because, I was doing it partly, I was just putting everything in my calendar, but the time block is phenomenal, especially if you're using Calendly, those apps where people can put stuff on your calendar. You have to schedule that.
Oh, absolutely. So I have people, I use that for my call scheduling, and I have specific times where I take calls, and, I answer this once a day, and I just kind of juggle it that way. And then I try to keep my weekends just for fun things, other than like I check emails and Instagram and stuff, but I try to keep weekends like for myself to, go out, have fun, eat dinner.
Yeah, that's good. You keep a balance.
I try.
So we obviously have the podcast, but we also create content like visiting places, right?
Yeah.
We highlight the goal for UnPack is to highlight or unpack the people, places, and products in Pittsburgh. We've been going to quite a bit of bars, restaurants, boutiques, things of that nature. We found a few that were like, this stands out above the rest. What are some places in Pittsburgh that you've found, whether it be for a beverage or for food or wherever?
Oh my gosh. This is hard because I love everything. So let's see. Favorite restaurants. Dianoia's, City's Garden.
Where are these?
Dianoia's is in the Strip District.
Oh.
They are the ones that do the pumpkin gnocchi in the pumpkin and bake it.
That sounds cool. We have to try that
Fall.
place.
Yeah, get there in the fall. I would say like City's Garden for food and drinks. Obviously, it's beautiful. Where else? And they're in Lawrenceville. Where's other really cool places? So I'm a cocktail person, so I like the Warren.
I was there last night.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
Nice.
So it'll be featured. It was really late and really dark, so we didn't get a lot of content there. I had a fantastic drink, had a flower in it.
Perfect.
It was called Gin and Flowers or something.
That has my heart. Yes.
It was fantastic.
I love
sushi
gin.
Was fantastic.
I love flowers. The sushi, yes.
And we actually sat outside, like on the streets.
Yeah.
Which at that time of night was perfect for people watching.
Yeah.
So that's a good answer.
Did you get the General Tso's cauliflower?
No.
Oh, next time.
That sounds good.
It does.
I don't even like cauliflower. I love that shit. It is so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
What's your drink of choice?
It rotates. So I'm like
honestly, that's the perfect answer because it really is. Like sometimes I'm a wine, whiskey, or a high noon guy.
I'm turning into a whiskey girl. I don't know where that came from, but usually it's like something like light and refreshing. So I'll do like a gin cocktail or a vodka cocktail. But like at heart, I'm a brewery girl. So I love our brewery scene. I love New England IPAs. The hazier, the better. So Grist House is my number one favorite. Hitchhiker and Cinderlands.
Okay, we've only done one brewery, and it was a very, very quick pit stop. What was the name? It was
Mindful.
Mindful. We did Mindful.
Mindful's great too.
Yeah. We didn't really. It was like a real quick stop. The brewmaster wasn't in, so we didn't get to really see the facility too much. And I actually didn't even have a beer. I had a
lavender cocktail.
Yeah, it was,
that's the perfect
I like to show off
drink.
sometimes, a bunch of beer drinkers. I'm drinking the lavender one. So you have a very big event coming up, correct?
Yes. So we do a couple of events per month, and I would say our events range in size. We might have 20 women at a smaller event, and then our bigger event each month, anywhere from 50 to 100. But prior to COVID, we had an event called Fitness Sampler at the Ace Hotel in East Liberty. And if you're familiar with the Ace, they have this huge gym. They have a big upstairs ballroom, and we had about 300 women. We pulled together 8 local fitness studios.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of fun. 8 back-to-back fitness classes, just 25 minutes each, and then we had about 25 local businesses upstairs in the ballroom, meet and greet with all the attendees. So we're finally bringing that back, 2023.
Nice. That's exciting.
It is.
What's the date for that?
November 11th. We're going to be at the Ace, which is now the Maverick. So it looks amazing. They have the M Bar in there, which is another great place to go for cocktails.
Okay.
So check that out. It's in the lobby. They remodeled. It looks beautiful. They have featured cocktails. And then the gym and the ballroom look exactly the same. So we're going to try to fill it up.
Very exciting. So will that be on your website? And if so, what is your website?
It will. So it'll be up on our website. So our website's thebeautyboost.net/Pittsburgh. And I'm going to have that ticket link up and running soon.
Cool. So Beauty Boost is, do you know how many states they're in? Like where, like they're all over,
Ooh,
right?
I don't know how many states we're in. We're in about 25 cities.
Okay. So 25 cities. That's quite a bit. Do you guys ever do like a big event for just the Beauty Boost people? Like, do you get to know the people like in Tennessee
Alaska?
or wherever?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume there's a Nashville one. Nashville just seems fun, but
yeah, there is Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. So we have a team retreat once a year where all the owners come together. One year we were in Ohio. Last year we were in Florida. This year we're in Florida, and we all fly in and have a combo meeting of fun and work. So yeah, and then we meet all together as a big team once a month, on Zoom, and then we do mini group meetings every couple weeks with like 10 of us at a time, just to kind of like keep connected. And we have a Slack channel that is 24/7. So.
Our Slack for our company is just all day long.
Ours isn't too bad, but we have people in different time zones, so because we are from East Coast to Alaska.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all in Eastern Standard Time, but you get all of the above.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What has been the most memorable event for you?
Oh my gosh. This is hard because every event I say this is my favorite event.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
that makes sense.
I would say the first time I did a big event, because I was so nervous about it. Our founder came in, she lives in Columbus, so she came in to help me. And this was about 3 months after I took Beauty Boost over. So I just kind of planned it. I said, I'm doing this. I'm going to make it happen. I pulled it all together, and just watching everything go smoothly was the most mind-blowing yet exciting thing I've ever experienced. And let me tell you, things don't ever go smoothly. Something always happens.
Yeah.
And
Trust
I'm sure
me, we know. Every time we film.
Well, yeah, look at that.
There's a tornado going right down the street.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure something happened that day that didn't go well, and I don't remember what it was now, but I just remember seeing like all these people coming together and having fun, and they seemed so excited to be there, and they were all talking, and the businesses were happy, people were shopping, the sun was shining because we were outside at the terminal, and I was like, this is what it's all about. Like, people are having a really great time just doing something so simple. It was like boot camp on the steps,
It is kind of funny how like something, I'll call it simple, but there's so much planning behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh,
It's the act of getting it organized is
Yeah.
certainly not simple, but just getting the idea of yoga or on the steps or whatever it might be. But like we actually went to that event because I think we had a table there for
You did,
Stonewater.
yes. Yeah.
So, but that was just so cool because like you come down, yes, we're coming for your event and meeting new businesses that we would have never met before, but it's also you pick areas in Pittsburgh that are so fun to be at. So it wasn't like after your event, it wasn't like, okay, go home. It's like, okay, now you're in the strip district.
Yeah.
Maybe, have a drink, have a lunch, have whatever.
Exactly. Hang out, shop, grab pizza. Like afterwards, I sat at a picnic table and ate pizza and had a beer afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like, yes, it's time to celebrate.
Yeah, it's time to relax.
Yeah.
Is there a come down after some of your events where it's like, oh my gosh, I've just been prepping so much, I just need to relax? Or do you
Always.
have, with everything going on, as Alaina asked you, like, I joke you're juggling chainsaws only because I just know you.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you just get to relax? Like, I mean, the reason why you're able to do this is because we got you in your downtime.
Yeah. I would say I have a huge adrenaline rush after every event that takes me a while to come down from. I usually take that time to like go through pictures and videos and things like that because in addition to organizing, I'm also our event photographer. But then I do try to give myself the rest of that day to relax. But my mind is always in 5,000 places at once, and I'm always like on to the next thing, onto the to-do list mentally. But I do, take time to kind of relax a little bit, and then appreciate the people that were there. I always, send out thank yous, correspond with whoever via email, Instagram, whoever's tagging us, messaging, saying I had so much fun, those types of things. But yeah, it takes me a little while to come down from like all the happiness, all the endorphins and adrenaline.
I bet. That's why I was asking. I could just imagine like so much goes into it, then it goes like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh. But so you mentioned that people can buy tickets for the upcoming event on your website.
Yep.
Having had you visit our business, right? Like, and being a a business who invites you in where you can have an event. If there's a business out there, how does that work as far as a connection? Because I would assume that is important as well. So if there's a business, and like kind of talk about how that benefits them too.
Yeah, so from a business standpoint, we work with a bunch of different venues all over the city. I work with like wedding venues, breweries, restaurants, beauty industry, obviously co-working spaces, but I'm really flexible. Like I really like creative new ideas and spaces, and sometimes I'll just walk into a space just in my personal life and I'll be like, wow, I really want to do an event here, and then I will be like, who can I talk to?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there a bucket list one? I'm just curious. Is there one like, oh man, if I landed the
Winter Garden, Shauna.
Winter Garden, where is that?
It's attached to like the PPG Place building
Yeah.
downtown.
Okay,
Yeah, so Winter Garden is my dream venue. I have chatted with the event coordinator there.
Come on.
No, it's not her, it's me.
Oh, it's you.
I'm
Just
the
kidding.
problem.
I'll pass on you. Come on.
I'm the problem. Well, the thing is like we hold events on like weekend mornings or weeknights.
Makes it easier for people to attend.
Yeah, and then we don't cater events. So like they're definitely a wedding venue. They have a catering company, those types of things. That's like not something that we typically do. And then weekends, like our weddings and formal events and things like that. So I'm going to make it happen one day, but Winter Garden is my dream venue.
All right. Well, we look forward to that.
Yeah. And then I derailed from your original question. So yeah, if businesses want to get involved, it's super easy. You can DM me on Instagram and then we set up a call. The Beauty Boost _PGH. But yeah, I just set up calls with any business that wants to get involved, and then we just kind of have a casual conversation. Like I want to learn more about them, who they're trying to reach, what their business goals are, and then I want them to kind of like learn about us, like who typically comes to our events, and make sure that it's a match, because any business that we work with, I want it to be mutually beneficial. I want it to be like a positive relationship for both.
Yeah, like speaking about the event that we hosted, well, both really, but certainly the most recent it was really cool to have people come into the building that might not have otherwise, right? So as a business, you're always you're using social media and you're using marketing and things of that nature, but to have someone come into your space and kind of see it and be like, we actually had someone work the front desk because people booked some of our services. They were like, I never knew that you guys offered this, or I've driven past this so many times and I've always wanted to stop in. So if there is a business out there listening, I can absolutely say that it was a value for sure. And it's also good to do things for the community, right? Because we were blessed to have space, right? And that's a key ingredient in hosting.
Oh, for sure.
So it's really cool to kind of just see, and I don't know if it was all women. Is it all women?
I mean, typically, like we market to women, but
I remember it would be mostly women.
Yeah, we're welcoming to anybody, any gender identity, but we do market to women and say like, hey, this is a place to, create new friendships. But anybody that feels comfortable, we welcome everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was so fun. I mean, I was just there kind of making sure no one messed up the property, but it was great. There was so many cool vendors. Some of them I still keep in touch with via Instagram and just seeing how their businesses are going.
Yeah.
So do you want to ask one more question?
Yeah, so we heard the dream venue. Okay. Do you have any other goals or future plans for the Beauty Boost?
Oh my gosh, of course. I mean, I always wanted to be a space where people can come in and feel comfortable and feel like it's a safe space and feel like they're going to be welcomed. That's always a goal of mine. So wherever we are in the city, I always want that. That's at the core of what we do. But I would say the more women that we can reach and kind of bring together, the better. So while I love the large events as well and love to kind of expand and grow and be in new, bigger venues, I think those small events are important too. So my goal is to grow, but to keep that balance, because I recognize that those smaller events are a little less intimidating for somebody to come into, especially if somebody's like brand new to Pittsburgh. I get lots of messages on Instagram, I'm brand new to Pittsburgh.
That's probably a fantastic market for you, because just like at the start of this, when you said what position you were in, I just want to meet good people.
Yeah.
If you just move to Pittsburgh and you don't know people,
don't know what to do.
This is a perfect opportunity to actually either do a small, more intimate event so you feel comfortable, or if you just want to come to the big one.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I definitely want to grow, definitely want to expand, reach more women, because I've seen like how the positive connections can just keep going and going. Like I've seen women come into events as strangers and leave and go get brunch together and be good friends 2 years later. And that's such a cool
awesome.
feeling.
Yeah,
It's
that's
such a
so
cool
sweet.
thing. So yeah, so I still want to keep that, but keep growing.
It's almost like it happened to you and now you're doing it to somebody else.
Yeah. Did you want to hear the funniest like full circle story?
Sure.
All right. So my first event, we went into this coffee shop called The Loveliest in Swickley, and it was pink and floral and clearly everything I like. Had great coffee, and I was just amazed by it. It was so cute. The owner's name is Catherine. So unfortunately, the coffee shop had to close, and Catherine ended up moving to Denver, but I still followed her on Instagram. She came back to Pittsburgh, and she started a networking group, and I joined that networking group, and it was all because of the Beauty Boost. I might have never went to that coffee shop. I didn't live anywhere near Swickley at that time. Might have never gone, might have never met Catherine, never followed them on Instagram, and then I end up in her networking group, and we're still, friends and have made great connections along the way through each other. So it's kind of wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things you said, but the underlining tone is like, if you have an opportunity, don't be scared and do it, because you don't know where it's going to truly lead.
Yeah.
You said like maybe at least 3 instances where, you could have easily just said, I'm going to stay home and watch Netflix or come up with an excuse why you shouldn't or go. And I do see a lot of people, and I know people in my inner circle who are shy and a little bit hesitant to put themselves out there. But like, I always say this, you're always one conversation away from changing your life. And
100%.
It might not be about business. It might be about friendship or significant other or whatever the thing is for that person.
Yeah.
So
you
it is
never
pretty
know.
wild.
And sometimes it's the tiniest things. Like I always tell people, like, do shit that scares you. Like, and then just keep working. It's like a muscle, like your fear muscle.
Yeah.
If you keep at it, just little tiny things, it grows and grows and grows.
Great advice for me.
Like being on a podcast. Like being on a podcast.
Yeah, but then eventually those little things aren't scary anymore, and the big things don't seem as scary. But you kind of just have to like keep like poking at it and doing like the little things, and they keep building up. But yeah, just do those tiny things, like say hi to the person in front of you at line, or just wherever you're at. You never know who you're gonna run into, talk to. Chain of events. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Like I might even joked with her about this, but it's like talking has become a skill set. And I shouldn't say that it wasn't before, but like as we get more texting and looking down at our screen, and like you could control the conversation, you could just stop responding. You can just turn your phone off. You could walk away and jump into another conversation. But like it is a skill to have a conversation with someone, and it's so important because the people on your phone traditionally are the people already in your inner circle. You know what I mean? Unless you're on some app. But like at an event, at networking events, you have no clue when you say, hi, my name is, what's coming next. Like you have no clue.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be weird and awkward, and sometimes it can change your life.
Absolutely. And it's okay if it's weird and awkward. Yeah.
It makes for a great story to tell someone else in your next conversation.
It does. It really does.
Cool. So I know you're busy. We can wrap up. We are at COhatch in Shadyside. I do want to give them a plug because you're the one who kind of hooked the spot up.
Yeah.
They gave us a tour. They had a fun room downstairs that included a vending machine with alcohol, which was cool, a pool table, some arcade games. They have offices to rent. They have conferences. This is a great space. I'm not sure the camera's going to pick up the huge room, but we had a perfect view for the storm.
Yeah.
So before we do wrap, I do want you to plug your event one more time, date, who should come, and like where they can go to get tickets.
Okay. So actually our next event with COhatch is here in Shadyside. It's in July 13th, and we're doing a mid-year reset. So like an empowerment workshop. So we're going to be talking about like intuition. We're going to be doing some breath work and just doing like resetting kind of like your mind, body, spirit to, get you back on track for 2023, what your goals are. And we've also worked with COhatch on the waterfront. We've done some workshops there. there, and then we'll be working with them in the South Side when they open as well. But then our big November event, it's going to be at the Maverick, formerly the Ace Hotel in East Liberty. We're going to be featuring 8 local fitness studios and about 25 local businesses, and we're just going to have like fun morning of working out and laughing at ourselves and meeting new businesses.
Yeah, it's cool. And you say working out, like, if they don't want to work out, you should still come, because there was some light workouts that are, like some of the events that I went to for you to support you, and I didn't work out and I still had a blast. So no matter what, whether you want to work out or meet local businesses or just try to network and meet some great people, I think it's going to be a fantastic event. So are you selling tickets for that already? Or
I will be soon.
Okay. And that will be through your website on like an Eventbrite or something like that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. This
so
was all right? I mean, you handled it
perfectly.
Yeah. I know you're not shy.
I like talking. Yeah. I like meeting new people. Alaina and I got to meet today, so that was perfect. So I think it's great. And I love COhatch and experiencing all 4 seasons in one day. So
awesome. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. Once again, we're at COhatch with the owner of the Beauty Boost, Michele. And I definitely just want to end on by saying, don't be afraid to go somewhere, because that was probably the perfect story. Is she could have stayed home, she went, and now look at all that she's doing, not just for her, but for everybody else who comes to her event. So congratulations, and thanks for being here, and thanks for listening. This is UnPack Pittsburgh Podcast.